What is up, everybody? I hope you're having a wonderful day. And there is this game that's come out recently, and it's not perfect. It has some bugs, it has some glitches, has a few issues. The devs have been doing constant updates every day. They're fixing a lot of the problems, and it's pretty impressive considering the amount of patches they are doing, how quickly they are doing them. But this game is called Outpost Infinity Siege, and it is one of the most unique games I've ever played, probably in a long time. And it combines genres in a way that you wouldn't expect. It's an extraction shooter, it's a looter shooter, it's a tower defense game. It even has XCOM style base management and dealing with facilities and research and all that stuff. And there's even a couple more little things here and there that it kind of blends together, and it does it very well. It's just a shame that the launch was a little rocky and they had bugs and issues, but it's getting a lot better, and it is such an amazing game, and it is so fun. It's co-op, it's single player, and it is a blast. So basically, the premise of this game, the story, it doesn't even matter, but the story is these robots, AI took over the world, humanity's done, it's up to you to save humanity, there's very few people left, you're part of the defense force of Earth, and you have to basically take out the alien AI, or artificial AI, whatever you want to call it. They're kind of both in this game. And you do this by going around. The general gameplay loop is you will go on tours, which are a set of collective missions that you pick on a map. You will do all these missions, and then you will do a recovery day, which is the tower defense part, which leads up to the big finale, and that's where you'll get all your loot that you collected. If you fail any of this, if you die at any time or your outpost is destroyed, you will lose everything on your character, you will lose everything in your outpost, and your character has a chance of dying and not coming back. So, big stakes, big rewards, that's kind of the name of the game. But the gameplay it's solid, it works well. You got all your kind of loot you want, you got your tiers, you got your whites, your blues, your greens, your purples, orange, red, all that kind of stuff if you want to pursue that. It's just such a well, put together game, aside from the bugs and glitches. And the performance is a little, off here and there. But it just has so much going for it, and I feel a lot of people are going to sleep on this game, and they're not even going to give it a chance, because they're going to go see the Steam reviews, which are mixed now, and they're going to be like, well, I'm not even going to try it. But the funny thing is, even though it's sitting on a mixed review, and other people that have covered this game have barely really covered anything and just kind of said they don't like it, it has a pretty healthy player base. I mean, it's topping 10K players a day, which for a single player co-op style game that's not PvP or anything, it's pretty impressive with it being an indie studio at their first game, so it's nice to see that there's a lot of people that really enjoy it. And the main reason I think a lot of people like it is it's so fresh. It's not another looter shooter, it's not another 4X game, it's not another insert genre here. It's combining genres together and trying to be different. And as far as extraction shooters go, those are obviously very popular, and there really is no single player extraction shooter like this is trying to be. So it kind of does scratch that itch. If you want to play Tarkov or any other of the extraction shooters, I can't think of all the names off the top of my head, and you don't want to deal with the PvP, this is an option for you. And it has a lot of depth, and it has a lot going for it. Now, I'm pretty sure the devs are going to support this game and continue to add content, because it's so different. It can't fail, basically, if they support it, because there's nothing like it on the market. And once you give it a shot, it might be your cup of tea, and once you don't, it might not. But this game definitely has things that other games need to try. It'd be really cool to see more games like this, with the extraction shooter being so popular and so big. It's something that's just crazy. And there's so many systems. I'm going to try to cover them all in this video. This video is going to be a little bit longer than I normally do, and I normally don't even make videos like this. I normally just make guide videos and walkthroughs and stuff. I don't even talk about games, really. But I really wanted to talk about this game because I've been really enjoying it, and I think it's really cool. Now, I want to show you guys some more footage here, and I'm going to talk about the recovery day, which is a tower defense mode, and that is something that I find to be very fun. And yeah, it's tower defense, but there's a little bit more to it going on. And I think you guys are gonna, if you like that kind of style, you might like that. Now, once you have all your resources, you can go to this mission type, and you will have a predetermined amount of time to set up a forward base, set up your defenses, prioritize things, get everything going, put down turrets, whatever. And this is the recovery day, this is the tower defense mode. Now, one thing that should be mentioned that I kind of forgot to say earlier is you do have a giant outpost. It's a modular base that you customize and build and outfit however you would like to take in with you on every single mission you do. The whole tour, it goes around with you, from location to location, and that's where you kind of do your resupplying. That's where you manage your power and resources from. And this base is probably the coolest thing about the game, which is why it's called Outpost. This is an outpost. And it's really neat to have something like this. Who doesn't want a giant mobile base with legs that walks around and you can just outfit and do things with? One thing I didn't even cover, if you even made it this far in the video, is there actually are player vehicles. There are mechs you can get into, and there's quite a few different ones. And there's about 15, 20 different turret types. There's so much. I can't even tell you it all in this little quick overview video to really give you an idea of what the game has to offer, as well as the many different enemy types that you'll encounter. There's boss enemies you'll get during waves and everything else, and just normally in the tours, if you fail this, you lose everything. But this is kind of the peak. This is what everything builds up to. The AI send massive waves at you and you take them out just like a tower defense game. So if you like tower defense, this might be something for you. And if you don't, it does do things a little different, and it's not so cookie cutter. You do have lanes and stuff, and there is a roguelike element to this game too that I haven't even talked about, where in the middle of tours and missions you will get little cards. They're called risk cards or whatever they're called. They're called risks is in the game, and these are positive or negative things that will happen during the game. Like you can get more turrets for deployment, you can get better rewards. They're just little rogue things that alter the way a mission plays out. Stronger enemies may appear. You'll get hunted more often by the AI dogs that try to take you out when you make a lot of noise. There's all these cool cards you can get that will alter the way things play out and how easy or hard the game may be. And if you want to make the game more risky and have better rewards, you can do that. If you want to make it easier and get less rewards, you can do that. So there's a lot going on, and it's just so interesting. There's so many systems. Like I said, I don't know, I've said this probably 3 times by now, but there's so much going on, so many little things working together to make this game work. It's insane. And I haven't even talked about your home base, the main base you go back to, all the management with that. You got different operators that you can recruit and get to use, and they have their own abilities and powers and traits that you level up as you use them. You got ones that deploy bubble shields, they deploy mobile turrets, you got guys that can have infinite ammo for a temporary amount of time and just go ham. You got guys that can imbue elements. There's all kinds of elemental damage in the game. There's guys with swords and melee weapons. There's so much to the game, and I know I'm missing stuff, and I know I haven't even said everything that the game has, but it is just insane the amount of just stuff in this game, and all these little systems, all these little things working together. It just blows my mind. It really does. And I really hope this game does well, because I think it's very unique, and it's on Unreal Engine 5. And I'm playing on a very old PC, and I'm able to run this 60 FPS, and it looks pretty good. I got some, things sacrificed, so if you think the graphical quality looks bad, it's just my PC. It's nothing with the game. But it is a phenomenal game. I keep saying this, and I'm going to keep saying it, but I truly do enjoy it. You can get flanked. There's some missions where if your forward base, which is where I'm at right now, if this gets destroyed and they approach my outpost, 2 new lanes will open up, and I'll get attacked on the east and the west of my base. And if I don't have turrets over there or things over there, it's going to be hard to defend that. So that's another thing. Certain bosses can spawn if certain conditions are met. It's crazy. It's just crazy all the things that the game has going. And I've said it again, and I'm going to keep saying it. But I do want to cover one more thing before I end the video. I do want to talk about the home base, the main base, and all of the little features in there. It's kind of like XCOM. You got research and all these other things you got to do. There's a lot to it, so I definitely want to cover that for you. Now, with the home base, there's a ton of research. As you can see, you got different tiers. There's about 5 different tiers, and you unlock more stuff. And in order to get more things, you have to find blueprints on missions. Some, research is just there. Others you have to find and assemble. And then you got the manufacturing, where you manufacture everything that you research, everything that you can build. You can manufacture items, you can manufacture outpost components, and it's got a lot of depth to that even too. And there's just so many little things to tinker with that you know, it can kind of almost be overwhelming because you're like, what do I build next? Should I build this or build that? And then, of course, you got the Outpost editor where you have your behemoth of an outpost that you modify and deal with all these components that you got to snap together. Honestly, the building system is really well done. Everything just kind of snaps onto points, and it's very intuitive and not really too cumbersome. You gotta get used to it a little bit, but once you understand how it works, I really like the way they established the system. It works very well. It's very intuitive, and I do like it. So the outpost building, I mean, you could easily spend 20 to 30 minutes tearing down your outpost, rebuilding it, making sure your turrets are in good positions. I don't even have everything unlocked. I only have 3 different turret types right now, and as you can see, my base is pretty massive. So there's so much more to do with that. And for all you Tarkov fans or extraction shooters, you got a huge warehouse of all of your different Tetris-style loot, components, gear, materials, things to sell. It's insane, the amount of things in here. So if you really enjoy playing, you know, Tetris with inventory, this game does that too. And I just can't go over enough how insane it is. You got all your squad members. You got different ones that you can recruit. You can have up to 50 different squad members. They all have different HP, armor, defense, movement, attack. They have all their trait trees, talent trees, where you upgrade their abilities, unlock passives, get active abilities, things like that. There's just so many little things, like I've said 100 times already, so many different systems in this game going around, working together, and making things work. But that's... And then there's dispatch. You can send out operators on missions, and then if they succeed, you can challenge them more, and they can die, but you can get even good rewards, and that'll just happen while you're playing the game. I could just go on, and this video's already way too long, and I don't even think anybody even made it this far into the video. So I just want to say one more thing. Try this game, give it a shot. If you don't like it, refund it within 2 hours. It's getting so much support from the devs. They really are fixing it up. I'm shocked. Daily updates. The game's been out for like 3-4 days now, and it's just insane the amount of support they're doing. They're listening to the community. They're literally fixed co-op. People complained co-op, you didn't share loot or resources or anything, and they fixed it 3 days later. They're like, you know what, we're going to give everybody stuff for co-op too. So if this interests you at all, or you got any questions or comments about the game, let me know down below. And as always, I hope to see you guys in the next one. Until then, later guys, peace out, have a good one!